Hi everyone, I'm Lisa and I'm from the Pretty Sweaty Stuff. Thank you so much for joining me in today's quick practice. So today's class we're going to focus on the core and we're going to focus on the outer hip, which is everyone's favourite. So you will need a block today. If you don't have a block, you can maybe use a chair, a stool, even the wall. If you don't have anything at all, then you don't need to use anything. Once you have everything, I'll meet you right here on the mat. So when you're ready, we'll come to a comfortable seated position. So any seated position that feels good for you. It doesn't have to be seated. If you prefer, you can come for mini Shavasana or any other child's pose maybe. Feel free to pop yourself up before you settle in. And once you've found your place, just begin to close down the eyes. Just softening into all areas of the body here. Maybe just wiggle the jaw from side to side, round and round, until you can feel the tension release. Just take this first few moments here to notice how you are. I like to start classes with that simple question of how are you today? Quite a lot of the time we're often looking after someone else, whether that's through work or someone we live with. And rarely do we actually ask ourselves how we actually are. So notice how you physically feel and notice what's going on in the mind. What is it that your body is asking of you today? What's the mind asking of you today? Do you need to maybe rest a little bit more than usual? Or are you energized and ready to go? With no right or wrong answer, just take note. And we'll begin to slow down the breath. Whether you just want to simply acknowledge the inhales and exhales, come and go. Or maybe take that Ujjayi breath, that victorious breath. Remembering that whatever you choose, make sure that the breath stays nice and soft throughout the practice. Taking deep inhales through the nose, easy exhales through the nose. When you're ready, gently blink the eyes open. The gaze is nice and soft. We'll just reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Really sit nice and tall. Relax the shoulders. Find as much length as you can from the fingertips all the way down the side body. Take a big inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, gentle side bend to the right. Pressing through that left sitting bone, and just expand through the left ribs. Inhale, lift you all the way up, and as you exhale, tip it to the other side. Nice easy breath here. And then lifting all the way up, reach through the fingertips. And as you exhale, interlace your fingers back behind you. Think about pressing the palms together and then finding as much length as you can from the crown of the head all the way to the sitting bone. drawing the navel and the ribs in and together. You can stay here, maybe just slight puff off the chest. If it feels okay, you can extend into the arms and then roll the shoulder tips back behind you, squeezing into the shoulder. Remember that throughout this class and any other classes, that these are just guides, right? So you don't need to follow it to a T. Just make sure it feels good and it suits your body and how you feel today. When you're ready, slowly release. Coming to all fours, tabletop position, hands and spreading the fingertips nice and wide. Hands about shoulder width distance apart, knees underneath the hips. Right away, begin to draw the belly in and nip the ribs in and together. I'm going to warm up into the wrist slightly, so just lift the palms up. Just make sure that the knuckles are still grounded. You might hear some crackles and pops, which is fine as long as there's no sharp pains. So we'll just go a little bit faster. We'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn the fingertips towards you. Nice and easy on the wrist here, so gentle stretch. So you can stay here. Maybe scooch the knees in a little bit closer if this feels a little bit too much. If it feels okay, you can always begin to scooch the knees back and then lean backwards. I would be very mindful here of the forearms. Okay? Remember not to go super crazy. And then slowly release. Turn the back of the hands towards the ground, fingertips towards you, and then you can rock forwards and backwards. Nice and easy, gentle massage again into the wrists. And then we'll slowly release, reset. And then a good thing about these videos is that you can hit pause. So if you need a little bit longer, then you're more than welcome to take that pause. Resetting in your tabletop position. Have your index finger roughly facing forwards. If you need a little bit more space in the shoulders today, maybe turn the fingertips outwards. Checking that the hands are about shoulder width distance apart, knees underneath the hips. For a few rounds of cat-cow. So I'm going to inhale, drop the belly, pull the chest through the arms, maybe look up, take a pause here. Really pull the hands towards the knees. And imagine that you're trying to get the head to touch the bottom, which isn't going to happen. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, go the other way. So push into the ground, roll the chin towards the chest, hollow out the belly. So really think about rounding in between the shoulder blades. And then just do a few more in your own time here, reconnecting movement with the breath. Nice and easy. Really release into the back, the shoulders, maybe the neck, the traps area, the belly, and then feeling that contraction in the belly and the front body as you round. So not just all opening up, just finding a little bit of strength where you can as well. Wherever you are, make this your last round. And then come into a nice neutral spine, nice long length along the crown of the head all the way to the tailbone. Hollowing out the belly. And just bring your right hand towards the center of the mat and then roll the body open towards the left, modified side plank. Up to you if you want to swing that right leg behind you to give you a little bit more stability. I don't have a lot of space here, so I'm just going to make do. Reach the left arm nice and high. Press a lot into that left foot. So think about slightly rolling the left toes in here. This left leg is super active and I'm reaching through the left fingertips. Nice long side body. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Using the belly, slowly lift the torso up. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling and then interlace your fingers. Take a big inhale and as you exhale, gentle lean towards the left. Spread into the right ribs and think about finding that length along the right side. So even if you haven't moved that much, make sure you can still keep the breath. Take a deep inhale, hollow out the belly, and then just lower slightly a little bit more. and then lift it up. Just a tiny smidgen. So we'll do your pulses here. So we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lift all the way up. Release the hands towards the ground. And then reset in tabletop position. Coming for the other side, so we'll bring your left hand towards the center. Roll the body open towards the right. Modified side plank here. Think about lifting the hips up and really stacking the shoulders on top of each other, the hips on top of each other. And then depending on how you are today, so how open you are, how tight you are, you might find some extra stretches. Press through the base. Inhale, lift the torso up, reach the arms up, interlace the fingers, and as you exhale, gentle side bend to the right. Remember to expand through the left ribs. And then we'll do your little pulses here. So really think about pressing into that left knee, and then we'll hit it off from here. So we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift all the way up. Bring the hands to the ground. Reset in your tabletop position. Tucking the toes under if they're not already, or slowly lift your hips up and back and downward facing dog. Nice V shape. Once you arrive here, just wiggle around, however feels good for you. And then gradually find some stillness here. So for this first stillness in the downward dog, let's all bend into the knees. Push the ground away from you to find a little bit more length along the spine. So we're keeping the lower back nice and long, digging into the ground with my knuckles. And slight rolling of the tricep behind you as well. Breathing big and full. Inhale, sweep your right leg nice and high. And as you exhale, right knee to the right tricep. Take a pause here. Feel free to lower the left knee to the ground, okay? So take a big breath in. Squeeze the elbows in as you lower halfway down. Inhale, push it back up. Three-legged dog, right leg to the ceiling. Roll the hip open. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward, lower lunge. Find your nice wide base. And then just settle here. Okay, so fingertips to the ground, pull the head through the arms, nice long spine. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, left foot sets forward, folding forwards. This hairband's a bit annoying. COVID times. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Press down the legs big, and that reaches you all the way up. Reach the arms up. And as you exhale, fold all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, lean towards your left leg. Step your right foot behind you. Bring the hands to the ground, step back, plank pose. Feel free to lower the knees to the ground. There's no shame in doing that. And that's where you are today. You might be low in energy, you know? Does it make you a bad yogi? If you've got the legs stretched out behind you, see if you can really fire up into the quads. Heels on top of the toes and hollowing out the belly. I'm going to lower the knees to the ground just to show you. Slight rounding into the upper back. Begin to shift it forward. Squeeze the elbows in as you lower halfway down. Elbow wraps in. And then lower yourself all the way to the ground. Point 10 toes. The inhale finds your low back bend. Okay. Squeeze the elbows in. Nice long spine here from the crown of the head all the way down towards the toes. And as you exhale, quick seat to the heels, child's pose. And then we'll lift it up, downward facing dog. I'll show you the other side. Inhale, reach your left leg high. And as you exhale, left knee to the left tricep. Again, feel free to lower the right knee slightly behind the hip. Keep the neck nice and long. Shift the gaze out in front of you. Squeeze the elbows in, lower halfway down. And then sweep it back behind you, three-legged dog. Shift the gaze out in front of you. Slowly step your left foot forwards. Again, find that nice wide base. Press into the left toes. Your right foot forward and then folding forward. Press down the feet big and I lift you all the way up. Reach the arms up. And as you exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, lean right, step your left foot behind you. And then slowly step back, plank pose. Again, feel free to lower the knees to the ground if you prefer. Just a slight crunch of the lower rib towards the hip point. Feel the belly engage. Take one more big inhale. And a full complete exhale. Begin to shift forwards. Squeeze the elbows in, lower halfway down. Untuck the toes. Inhale, find your back bend. Make sure there's no crunching in the lower back. And as you exhale, lift from the lower belly, up and back, downward facing. And just really finding your breath here. Nice, easy inhales and easy exhales. Inhale, reach your right leg high. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward, low lunge. Find a railway track, then press down the legs. Inhale, lifts you all the way up. Find your high lunge. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling. A slight bend into that back leg if you feel like you're a bit tight. Lifting the arms up towards the ceiling. Draw the belly and the ribs in. Take a big inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, release the hands to the ground. Again, feel free to lower the knees to the mat. As you sweep that right leg back behind you, plank pose. So remember, if you've got that left knee to the ground, the left knee needs to be slightly behind the hips for that modified plank pose. Begin to shift it forward, squeeze the elbows in, lower halfway down. Inhale, push all the way back up. And as you exhale, right foot steps forward, warrior three. Float your left leg up. Pull the head forwards and really press that back wall with that left foot. You can always release the fingertips to the ground. You can use a wall or maybe use a block. Keep hollowing out the belly. Take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, bend into your front leg. Slowly land your left toes behind you. High lunge, reach the arms up. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, release the hands to the ground. One leg plank pose again. Take whatever variation feels good for you. Begin to shift it forward. Squeeze the elbows in, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift all the way back up. Exhale, right foot steps forward. Warrior three. Wrap the right outer glute in and back behind you. Slowly bend into that right leg. Land your left toes behind you. High lunge, arms towards the ceiling. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, hands find the ground. Step it back. Lower halfway down. Wrap the elbows in, hollow out the belly. Inhale, lift up. One leg plank. Exhale, step your foot forward. Warrior three. One last time. Be super strong here. Don't be afraid to use the wall, again, the block, whatever you prefer. Keep pressing into that right foot. Inhale, lift you all the way up. Tuck your left knee in. And as you exhale, eagle pose, wrap the left leg around the right. You can also just tap the left toes to the ground and stack the knees on top of each other. Keeping the hands together if you like. Your right arm can wrap underneath for your eagle arms as well, whatever you prefer. Breathing nice and easy. Thinking about a slight rounding in the upper back. Keep pressing into that right foot. Take a big inhale, unwrap. And as you exhale, send your left leg back behind you. Land your left toes behind you, high lunge. Take a big inhale, reach through the fingertips. And as you exhale, twist towards the right, split the arms nice and wide. Again, think about really wrapping your right outer hip in and back and peeling the right shoulder behind you. Revolved high lunge. Finding much length as you can along the arms here. Keep reaching the left fingertips forwards. So really fire up into the outer right glute. Again, catch the block if you like. Or float your left leg back behind you. Right hand can catch your lower back, or if you like, find your full twist towards the right, and then you can reach your right arm up, twisted half moon, whatever you prefer. Okay, make sure that you're really pressing through that right big toe, and you're not dancing around in that foot. Keep finding as much length as you can here. Take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, slowly step and spin your left toes behind you. Squat into this left leg, Skandasana. So even if you're up high here, just really use what you've got. Drag the 2 feet together, fire up into the inner thighs. Take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, reground your front foot. Bring your hands towards the ground. Sweep your right leg back behind you, 3-legged dog. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, step your right foot forward. Tense onto the fingertips. Sweep the floor with your left leg, land all the way down, boat pose. And then bring your block between the ankles here. Let me just see if I've got space. Hollow out the belly, and you can always bring your fingertips behind you, or you can bring the heels to the ground, whatever you prefer. This hairband is not the one. Find a nice long lower back here, so puff the chest forward. You can even straighten into the legs as well, if you like. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, grab the block, lower halfway down, sweep the arms overhead. Inhale, lift, bring that block between the ankles, and then lower halfway down. And then you're just going to ride the wave of the breath here. So just do as many as you can, nice and soft. Really fire up into the hip flexor, the core. Nice, easy breath. And then wherever you are, just make this your last one. I don't know how many you've done. We'll lower halfway down. And then lift all the way up. Release all the way down. Release the block. And then, actually, no, let's grab the block. You can use a cushion as well. We'll place it in between the thighs. I'm really into this at the moment, simply because our inner thighs are often really super weak because we don't work into them that much, right? So when you squeeze into the block, the inner thighs become super engaged, pelvic floor super engaged, and you're working your transverse. So nice bonus point. Interlace your fingers back behind you and then lift onto the toes. Find as much length as you can across the chest here, hollow out the belly. Take a deep inhale, lift up, and then just a slight lower. So we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, keep squeezing the block, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, remove the block, hug the knees in, rocking side to side. Into rock forwards and backwards, and then take your time. We'll meet in a downward facing dog, nice and easy. Inhale, reach your left leg high, and as you exhale, step your left foot forward, lower lunge. Find your railway track, press down the feet, inhale, lift you all the way up. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Keeping, again, the front knee roughly on top of the ankle, and then remember you can always bend into this back leg. So every day your posture is going to be different. You know, for me, I'm going through the slight injury, like recovery, so this can be quite tense. So I'm going to shorten my stance between the feet, but usually I'd probably say step it nice and long so that the back heel really is on top of the toes. But again, for me personally, I'm going to shorten it just to ease off the hip flexor. Reaching the arms up towards the ceiling, take a big inhale. And as you exhale, release the hands to the ground. And then we'll also release the right knee to the mat. Sweep your left leg behind you. Nice, easy plank pose. Right knee slightly behind the hips. Begin to shift it forwards. Notice that my hip and my chest are roughly in line. Squeeze the elbows in, lower halfway down. Inhale, push all the way back up. Step your left foot forward. Warrior 3, float your right leg up. Again, you can Use a block, a chair, a wall, and if you fall out, just embrace the fall. Slowly bend into your left knee, land your right toes behind you, high lunge, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, release the hands to the ground, step it back, one leg back wherever you are. Hollow out the belly, begin to shift it forwards. Use the pec muscles, wrap the elbows in low halfway down, use the triceps. Lift all the way up, use the core. Step your left foot forward, warrior three. Nice and strong here. Use the back muscles. Bend into your left leg, land your right toes behind you, high lunge, arms towards the ceiling. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, release the hands to the ground, step it back. Lower halfway down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left foot sets forward. Warrior three, one last time. Press down the foot, inhale, lift you all the way up, tuck your knee in. And as you exhale, eagle pose. Again, maybe just tap the toes to the ground, stack the knees on top of each other. Or you can single wrap, or you can double wrap. Okay. Notice I'm not hinging too far forward, so just bear that in mind. Bring the hands together, heart center. If it feels okay, you can eagle the arms as well, or wrapping the left arm under. If it doesn't feel good, you can give yourself a big hug. Press down the foot, take a big inhale, unwrap, and as you exhale, slowly tip it forwards, and we'll land your right toes behind you, high lunge. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, easy twist towards the left, split the arms nice and wide. And again, notice if you're hinging forwards, can you peel the torso back? And then again, just keep an eye on this outer left hip. Maybe the gaze can go a bit towards the left. Shift the gaze out in front of you. Reach your right fingertips forward. Again, feel free to use a block. We'll land the hand to the ground or the fingertip. Float your right leg up, twisted half knee. Then your left hand can always catch your lower back. Again, see if you can pull this left hip back behind you. Activate into this quad whilst pulling the head forwards. Can you recruit into this right hamstring to lift your right leg up a little bit more? Slowly bend into this left leg. Step and spin your right toes behind you. Squat into this right leg, Skandasana. Again, maybe you're up high. If it feels okay, you can squat low. Just make sure you've got a bit of maybe you've got a bit of activation here. Maybe practice is not perfect. So embrace every fall, every tumble, every nudge. Slowly ground your front foot. Release the hands to the ground. Tent onto the fingertips. Sweep the floor with your right leg, and then we'll meet again in your pike pose. So second and last time, if you're getting a little bit tired, then release the heels to the ground, and then you can just micro movements. You don't even need to lower halfway down, right? If you're tired, you should still feel this. I mean, I feel this incredibly. So breathe in nice and easy. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, lower again. We'll just do not that much as I usually would in a class. Make this your last one, and then lie all the way down. I don't know why I just whispered that, but lie all the way down. Placing the block in between the inner thighs, really squeeze that. So if I came and just tried to snatch it, you can't let go of it, right? Interlace the fingers back behind you and lift the heels up. Find that nice natural curve in the spine. Take a deep inhale, hollow out the belly, and as you exhale, lift all the way up. And then we'll just do your little pulses here. Nice long neck. So we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release and just lie down for a second. This time around, we're just going to come to lie onto the belly. We're going to come into your Sphinx pose. So forearms out in front of you and 10 toes pointing back behind you. Think about pressing through the little toes so that you've got a little bit more space in the lower back. Okay? Elbows roughly underneath the shoulders, or maybe slightly more in front if, again, you need a little bit more space today. Activate slightly into the glutes, the back body, and then pull the chest through the arms. Find as much length as you can, releasing the shoulders down the back. And if you'd like, you can always just roll around the neck, close down the eyes, and just breathe big and full. And then when you're ready, push through the hands and then bring the seat to the heels, child pose. Again, see if you can find as much length as you can along the side body and along the back. And then slowly come all the way up. Reaching the legs out in front of you. Okay. If you feel like your spine is starting to curve, you can sit on the edge of a block. Okay. Maybe a couple of cushions as well. Stay nice and tall. Activate into the quads, hollow out the belly. We'll bring the fingertips to the side. Find as much length. So you should feel the core engaged here. Think about pressing through the sitting bones. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, just slightly hinge forwards. Press your heels into the ground. And then think about really concentrating on keeping the length of the spine, unless obviously it doesn't feel good. And less about trying to reach the toes. You can close down the eyes if that feels good. And slowly lift all the way up. We'll cross your right foot over, placing the right fingertips back behind you. Take a deep inhale, reach your left arm up. And as you exhale, gentle hook, and then easy twist. Take a deep inhale, find your length. And as you exhale, maybe twist a little bit deeper. And then come back to center, and then we'll trace sides, so right leg long, cross your left foot over. Sit nice and tall, making sure that the left big toe and the left sitting bones are grounded. Take a deep inhale, reach your right arm up, and as you exhale, hook, and then twist. Drawing the belly in, take a big breath in, and then as you exhale, maybe twist a little bit deeper. And then come back through center, and then we'll come to lie all the way down. Bring your feet about mat distance apart, and allow the knees to knock on inwards. Just a nice release into the lower back, and slightly maybe into the IT band. Closing down the eye, and just really absorbing the energy of this practice. So how does this body feel now after you've moved? You can stay here if you like. We'll come for the traditional Shavasana by releasing the legs out in front of you, arms by your sides, palm faces up, eyes closed, final pose. a little bit more time, feel free to stay here. If you feel ready to move on, just slowly, nice and easy, take your time. Maybe rolling onto one side, or you can just lift right up wherever you are. We'll eventually meet in a nice seated position. Sitting nice and tall, closing down the eyes. And take this moment to come back to your natural breath. Take a big inhale through the nose and a big sigh out. Bringing the hands together and bow the head forward. Showing love and gratitude to yourself and to this practice. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.